Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys that we definitely want you guys to stick around for. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel here. Now, today we got one of those shows for you guys here today, man. And you know, when I heard, when I caught away for this story, initially I wasn't exactly sure of how I was going to respond to it when we produced this show, but I just knew that it was something that just didn't really resonate with me properly. What am I talking about? As y'all know, Gilbert Arenas has a few shows. I think he has his own personal show. I think he's also on Football Sports. I don't know if he owns that platform. He probably does. I don't know. And Gilbert Arenas is an outspoken guy, right? He talks about a bunch of different things. He makes fun of people, likes to make fun of NBA players and others. That's just his thing. That's his MO. That's how he moves around. But recently he was asked to kind of weigh in on the Morant situation, because he also had a similar kind of situation early in his career when he was playing with the Washington Wizards. So some people felt like he was qualified to kind of weigh in on the entire matter that Morant was going through. And when it came time for him to kind of give his opinions on things, he began to explain, you know, what's going to happen to Ja. And then he kind of went off and suggested that Morant do something that I really can't believe he told him. I really can't believe he said that publicly. So what we want to do is we want to play his comments for you guys here, and then we're going to come back and react to what he had to say. Take a listen to what he had to say here.
Like, your life has actually changed, and you don't even know. When it comes to tiers, you were a one-tier player. You're supposed to be the future. And then this is just real reality, you know, because no one's going to tell you this. You are number one. You, Luka, Tatum, all that. They have now bumped you to tier 2, tier 3. No matter what you go out there and do, moving forward for at least the next 3 years, you're going to be behind those players because of the image. You're going to have to really sit back and like re-image yourself. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things where, you know, you want to be mindful, but you still have to be a little real. You know, if you don't get voted in the All-Star game, those coaches are going to look the other way. I mean, a lot of things are going to happen no matter how good you play. So, you know, it's one of these things where for the next 3 years, you're really going to have to duck your head and just play basketball, still keep your same personality, and not get in trouble for you to get back to who you were 3 weeks ago. Or 2 weeks ago before any of this started. So, and I just want to tell you that, you know, it's going to be a tough one, especially mentally, you know, just watching how everything unfolds around you. But just understand at the end of this dark tunnel, there will be light. And, you know, the Kobe's, me now have came out of it, just stay strong. Keep working, and then, let your game play for itself. Right now, this is when you really just shut the world out and just play basketball, and, just try to be mindful of the things you say, the things you do. But it's going to be, you're going to have to, work on your image again for you to be put back in that top 3, because no matter what anyone tells you, you are now in top 2, top 3. You're going to be the Trae Young. You're going to be averaging 28 and 10, and they're going to somehow leave you off the All-Star game. All that's about to happen, unfortunately. But, just mentally be prepared for it, and, just keep going.
That's well said.
You know what I mean? It's like you don't want to say that. You don't want to say it because you don't know how someone's going to perceive it. You know what I mean? It might look like, hate, when it's like, I just want to tell you the truth because I know how it works.
Well, I mean, you see how quickly the media will turn on anybody. Mm-hmm. And like I said, you have a Washington Post report, but people will take that as gospel when the NBA has already investigated a lot of this stuff. Mm-hmm. So if they've done their investigation but they'll look at this report as if it's not alleged, that this is what actually happened. Because there's no video right now to support either side.
The media is gonna, you gotta remember, the media is gonna beat you up before there's even any facts. They're gonna find you guilty before the NBA even does anything. So, it's one of those things is be careful of the words you say when you do have to talk to media. Keep it just basketball and, for the next 2-3 years, just, stay on that path and just understand that, your goal right now is to be back where you were 2 weeks ago. And that, unfortunately, that's going to take about 2 years.
Okay. Is there any way to speed up the process?
Nope.
Winning the chip?
No, winning the chip. I can tell you this, and this is going to sound like real brutal. Real brutal. The last step before crossing that finish line of image changing is he's going to have to cut his hair and become clean, look ungangsteristic, looking so far away from the music that they think he's mimicking, or Memphis. Yeah,
so more Demetrius than Ja.
Yeah, it's like putting on a gangster putting on a suit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah, they want you to. It's like when a gangster rapper goes on the court and he has a suit on, got the glasses to try to look. Yeah, presentable.
Essentially, he said that he would suggest that Ja Morant cut his hair because maybe that will. I'm assuming he's saying that to clean up his public persona, right? Here are my thoughts on that particular thing. In the past, I've addressed Gilbert Arenas, and there are some Gilbert Arenas supporters out there that love to come to his defense. Gilbert Arenas, from what I've seen about him, not just talking about sports, but talking about other things, Gilbert Arenas doesn't really seem to be someone that has a lot of respect for people. I don't think he respects black women whatsoever. I heard him talking about black women and the things that he said. That's crazy to me. Somebody as black as me talking like that. To me, that speaks volumes to some people who have no self-worth and are all about a laugh or two and a giggle. They love it. They'll crack up at it, and they black too, laughing it up, cracking it up, laughing it up. But to me, I never found it funny. To me, I think it speaks to, I think that has to do, either it's something that has to do with a lack of self-confidence or a lack of self-worth. Why in God's name would Ja Morant have to cut his hair? Okay, Ja Morant has long hair. So what? Is a person's hair the thing that we're going to be judging people on? Gilbert is speaking from a point of view of what he thinks others would think of blacks. So therefore he's saying maybe they would be more comfortable with you if you just cut your hair. He's not really speaking from his own vantage point. He's speaking from a vantage point that he believes others have. Bro, there are plenty of players in the NBA that have hair that is quite similar to that of Ja Morant, and none of them find themselves in these type of in this type of drama. So what does the hair have to do with it? What does the hair have to do with it? Number one. Number two, for you to say that, I think it speaks more of you than anything else. You really just said that he should cut his hair because that should make people feel comfortable. That's that. Yo, you know what? That's Gilbert Arenas for you guys, man. And there are a lot of people like this. There are a lot of people like this that just cannot, they just have, their personal self-confidence is just not there. So they cut their hair, they talk a certain way, whatever. To me, I think it's personally ridiculous. Personally, I think it's ridiculous. If you listen to the way I speak the way I try to speak proper English. but I'm not changing my intonation or changing my. If you close my eyes, you can get you will be able to quickly understand that person's ethnic background easily. I don't try to bend my voice, modify my voice in a certain way because I am who I am. And a lot of people, all they want to know is this guy making a good point or not? They don't really care about all of those other things. Number one. Number two, I don't think cutting his hair is the solution here. It's all about changing your behavior. Kawhi Leonard has cornrows. Do you hear any stories about Kawhi Leonard coming out? Did you hear anything? Anthony Davis grows out his hair from time to time. Did you hear any issues about Anthony Davis anywhere? Like, what does the hair have to do with it? To me, maybe it's just me. Maybe some people will agree with that, but to me, I didn't really get what that was all about. Maybe some people will. I don't understand it. So these are my thoughts and opinions. What I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about the advice that Gilbert Arenas had to put forward here? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comment section, and we catch you guys on the next show.